Oh. Hey everybody, welcome back to Design in the Dark. Hi. Hello, how are we all doing today? Hello, we have our friend Jen. Jen, right off the bat, favorite 2000s group or band or person,
Oh my gosh. Okay, there are so many,
right?
but a little like an underground favorite. Do you guys remember Little Black Backpack, the song Stroke 9? Well, the whole album was solid, you all.
Oh,
But
I
also,
need to
I
look that
mean,
up.
yeah, no, it's friggin' solid. What
Heck
else are
yeah.
my Millennium Jams? I mean,
I
Blessed
was
Union of Souls, obviously.
yes,
And I think Oasis like straddled that era of like 90s thousands, you know what I mean?
that's
So I think
true.
Oasis can be included.
There is a
Um,
different zone that is the carryovers from the late
yes,
90s to the early 2000s. Like you did it. I'm so
yes,
proud of you. Well,
totally.
welcome to the show, everyone. This is Design in the Dark. It's the fun, crazy show where we don't know what's going to happen. And that's actually a good thing. It is up to you, chat, for you to create a creative brief today for our friend Jen, who we haven't introduced yet. Jen, tell us a little bit about you, who you are, what you do, and all that fun stuff.
Yes, I am Jen Hood. I am one of the co-founders of Hoodzpah. Amy, my counterpart and evil twin sister, was on yesterday. We started the studio about 9 years ago because we couldn't get hired. And so we thought we can do better. And so we made our own studio and made a lot of mistakes, but now we have figured it out kind of and are working on dream projects and also still on stuff for friends. And yeah, mostly we do branding, I should say, mostly branding. And then we're also getting into font design so that we can kind of have a little bit more of that passive income game. And then we also
Yes.
teach a course on how to freelance.
Yes, and that course is called Freelance in Business and Stuff. There is also a book that is right here. You can get that on the website hoodzpahdesign.com. Check out the books and resources. And is there anywhere else where you can consume this great material?
Yeah, mainly just the website, but also social media. We're always posting a bunch of stuff too.
Yes, there's always things. And I believe that you're live streaming a bit on your own as well on YouTube, correct?
Yeah, we are, and we
Yes.
have to get our Behance figured out too to stream live more there. But we
Oh,
are,
yeah.
we're mainly like getting all of the kinks worked out on YouTube, and then we'll bring it to
Ready
Behance.
for the big show.
Yes,
All right, so are you ready to just like hop in and get this started?
yes, I am.
Okay, cool. How are you feeling going into we're creating a brand in just under an hour? What's your mindset going into this?
Okay, there's obviously a little bit of panic, but also I feel like I've got the cheat codes because I saw Amy do it yesterday. So really, I know that it's going to be beach themed, but I don't know what era or what the name is. So it'll still be kind of fun to, riff on whatever those variables are.
Yes, and chat, that is where you come in. It is up to you to create our creative brief for the day. And I'm going to go ahead and read the entire creative brief to you, and then we will start filling in words for Amy to get started. So, flipping over to my screen, here is our brief for the day. The adjective beach term, that's the name of our company, is an up and coming California lifestyle brand. Their signature color is easy to spot on all of their pieces. Established in a year, this blank and blank apparel brand is known for their sleek style of a type of clothing. They cater to an age demographic, and whether that age demographic is water sporting or beaching, they always look good in their adjective term. So the first thing right off the bat is we are going to be naming this company. So we need an adjective and a beach term. Jen, adjective. What's an adjective? I always love to like restart grammar as we start this show. What's
Oh
it?
my
What's an
gosh, an
adjective that pops in
adjective.
your brain? I know this is an English test as well.
Okay. Oh gosh. Um, Slinky? I don't
Yeah.
know. Is that weird?
Yeah, no, slinky could be a word. So chat, slinky, slimy, things that describe things are adjectives. So drop some in chat and we will pick one of those, as well as a beach term. Any beach term, we will combine those into the name of our company. And there are some people jumping ahead. We're going to go piece by piece, and that way Jen can start piecing together the pieces as we go. Love that adjective. Tubular is going to be our
Tubular,
adjective.
yes. Yes.
Tubular. And then let's toss some beach terms in there, chat. Give us some beach terms. Bodacious. Amy, you get one suggestion today. We gave Jen one yesterday, so Amy gets one suggestion. And let's see here. All right, so we've got righteous coming in, bodacious, posh,
Righteous.
Lots of great adjectives. And the fun thing about this show is, chat, you're a little bit behind us. So if it seems like we're stalling, we are. Ooh, okay, all right. So we got shell is a good suggestion. We've got surf, wave. I feel like those are a little too. Oh, let's do that. So your company is going to be called Tubular Dunes. Tubular dunes, like some awesome dunes on the beach. And then
it sounds like an Australian reality show.
It does. Welcome to Tubular Dunes. And then let's jump around here a little bit. What type of clothing do they create? And then what is a signature color, chat? And then we'll come back and get some more suggestions. So we need signature type of clothing and a signature color. And Jen, we are getting started here. What things are going through your brain as you're getting the name or starting to get things coming in?
Okay, I'm just looking right now at the letter forms and seeing, can I make anything interesting out of the letter forms? Do they lend themselves to any sort of beach themed iconography or feels in general? Because, we don't have to have an icon. We could just make the feeling in the letter forms.
Yes.
But we could also have an icon. So I'm also thinking about that.
Yes, and I love the idea that you're looking at the letter forms and it's not just oh, what letters are in here, but it's oh, what's circular and is it too square and what things can I pair up and move together. All right, so they are going to be creating, that's a great idea. Let's do flippers. So they're a company that creates flippers for diving, maybe bodyboarding, that kind of thing. And then our signature color is going to be tan. Love a good tan. I feel like we all need a good tan, especially when we're doing a beach themed thing. So we've got our tan going on. We are making flippers for a company called Tubular Dune. And chat, it is gone ahead and updated there on the screen for you. We will be continuing on to get more suggestions from you. But Jen, we're in. We got the details. Where do we start?
Okay. Well, I'm building off of the color scheme already, which yes, we are. Tan is the main color, but I'm going to do secondary colors off of it. So I always like to use black. I know it's a problem, but I can't.
You can't go wrong.
I can't help it. And I know this is looking kind of, what I want this to be is actually, I want it to be kind of RGB, like that, reflex or orange. It's really bright, but I guess that's not allowed for actual printing and real uses. That's probably not allowed. But
we can use our imaginations here.
Yes, we can.
There's no rules in the design. We have an unlimited budget with very advanced printers here on this show.
Okay, good. All right, so I'm starting to so that's that. And then let me see. Oh, what year are we in? What era?
Oh yeah, what year? What era do we want to start in? What year was this company founded? We can do any year that you guys want. I'd keep it maybe in the 1900s. We can go back to the 1700s and do some Castellan old style stuff. But let us know what era we are in. Speaking of Castellan and old time, do you want to hear a funny story?
Yes, please.
So Benjamin Franklin, our friend Benjamin Franklin, was a big fan of Castellan, and when Baskerville came out, it was this big hubbub. Everyone's like, Baskerville hurts my eyes, and so he would print stuff in Baskerville and tell people it was Castellan, and they'd be like, I love it, and then he'd be like, haha, you're a hypocrite. Which I think that punking people with type in 1770 something is just the ultimate flex.
That's amazing.
All right, I think that we're going to go here. So yesterday we were in the 80s and someone has suggested 1999. I think it fits very well with what we were talking about before, that we're bridging that gap between the 90s and the 2000s.
Okay.
I feel like this is a zone for both of us probably, right?
Yes, very much so.
Yes. It takes me back
I got to get my butterfly clips out. Do you guys remember butterfly clips?
Yes, just before the show we were
talking
about...
my puka shell necklace. It's all coming back, y'all.
And our
It's all coming
Jinkos?
back. Ooh, I'm getting some which... this is interesting. I'm getting some of those Santa Cruz surf vibes off of this,
Yeah.
but which some people would say, oh, well, then isn't that bad? But to be honest, in branding, sometimes like working off of cliches that people know what to associate that with is like a tactic. You know what I mean? It's like when you see Aesop and all the brands that look like Aesop, it's going to be an experience like Aesop.
Exactly.
Or, you know what I mean? Like there's a reason why a lot of things sometimes kind of like play off of each other.
And as we're watching, a lot of times we hear designers talk about like, oh, the vibe of this and like the feeling of that. What things are you like looking at and picking out that are giving you like the emotions and the vibes and kind of like this electric connection to the type?
Yeah. Well, when you said 90s, I was thinking, it was kind of like, it wasn't too precious. Like nothing in the 90s was like very refined or minimal. I think it was very like extra. And they were taking a lot of cues also from the 70s during the 90s. So I'm kind of like, I'm able to kind of dig even a little deeper back maybe.
And I love that it's not just about like what type were they using. It was about like, okay, what was going on at the time that I can bring over into this design that communicates those ideas of like that nothing was sacred. Everyone was kind of in this like zone of like throw it together, get a vibe. It was all about just like that chillness and kind of
like David Carson is the quintessential 90s designer. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And it's not just like because of his letters, it's because of that ideal that he had of just like, oh yeah, none of it matters. Let's throw it all over the place, break the rules, get crazy.
Okay, so I'm gonna start. Let's see. I'm also using Amy's computer, so I'm like, what?
Where is everything? Yes, and Clement, that is the greatest identifier of this time period when the CW was still the WB. That is.
Oh my gosh! Yes, yes. And Friday,
yes.
What is it called? TGIF was still a thing.
Why
can't I get her?
Yeah, we were all watching Seventh Heaven.
I'm so sorry. I can't figure out how to get just like her pen tool.
Just P, yeah.
No, I know, but it's like it's doing a special one. Oh, here we go. Okay, yes, here we go. We're back. Okay. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to, and it's funny because there's so many tools that I'm not using in Illustrator that I should be, like Reflect.
Oh, I very rarely. And we talk about this on my streams a lot. There's no like right or wrong way to do things, especially in Illustrator. There's just different ways. And sometimes somebody does it different and it ends up being better than yours. Sometimes it's slower than yours. It doesn't really matter. It's like, cool, as long as you get there, you get there.
Right. Window, where's Pathfinder? What's happening here?
Yes, the joys of working on another computer.
Well, Amy's was already hooked up to all the live stream stuff. Why won't it join these? I wonder. Well, we'll work this out a different way. And so I just decided to just use her computer.
All right, so we're going for kind of like crowny wave. What's the shape that we're starting to play with here?
Okay, so I'm gonna try and make a flipper, which it looks nothing like it right now, but don't worry, we're gonna get there.
Oh yes, it looks like one of those, and this is the weirdest reference, one of those penguins that has the blue feet.
Yes.
Like that's what it reminds me of right now.
All right, it's quick and dirty, but we're doing it. Okay, and then I'm just gonna use my rounded corners.
I feel like that is such an underappreciated tool for creating. Like I always look at complex icons and I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't use a pen tool that well. And like, it's so precise. And I'm like, oh, it's just a bunch of corners that have been rounded. Like,
yeah,
it's so helpful. What's up, Jonathan Beal? Nice to see you in chat. And everyone, let me know where you're watching from in chat. It's always fun to know where everyone is. And as always, if you have questions, drop them in chat and we will berate Jen with questions as we go.
Yes, please. Okay, there. Dunes like mounds.
Yes, I would say dunes like the kind of like beachy, think like Pismo or like Glamis.
Nice. Yes, nice.
Yeah.
You are from Riverside.
Yes, I know, right? That's like the coolest place to go. Oh, our friend Johnny Niddle is in the chat. What's up, Johnny? We love Johnny. So Johnny makes incredible music. If you have watched, he did the music for your online course, correct?
Yeah, he did. And It was amazing. It's still my favorite song ever, actually.
Yes, and he helped me write the opening of the last Canceled Con. We literally wrote a song together. He was like, go in your bathroom and just like record you singing a thing and I'll score it. And then I came back a couple days later and we had an opening number. It was awesome.
Yeah, he's so talented. It's crazy. If you have any
Wow.
excuse with a client that you need like a ditty for, like you gotta.
Oh, absolutely. We have friends from Egypt. We have friends from Pakistan, Toronto. My goodness, the world is all over the place here. Oh, we have like made it's funny because I watched chat and then look back down at your process and I'm like, oh, we've gone somewhere. Where
Yeah.
have we gone as we've like what's the direction that we're heading as we truck forward?
So I'm just like trying a bunch of stuff. Like I wasn't liking where this was going, so I just ditched it. But I will use that for something. But just for now, I don't know where that's going.
At
Like,
what point do you do that? That like you're working on something, at what point do you just give up and you're like, okay, this isn't working, let's go somewhere
well, I
else?
saw that this wasn't working, and then I was trying to make a mound out of a perfect semicircle, and that wasn't working. And so I was like, let me just try something organic. And then I saw this little gap here where I could put a sun. So I was like, okay, this is going somewhere. I'm just going to keep going with this.
Yes.
But you're
And
right. I mean, it's just like, especially if you're starting to get frustrated, if there's cursing involved, then maybe it's time to move on to a different idea.
yep, and it's interesting the little details that you're changing. A lot of times when I think that like a good design is happening, the questions start to answer themselves, right? That like,
Yeah,
oh, this anchor point moved over a little bit and this sits right here, and it's not like, oh, these are decisions I'm making. It's like, oh yeah, no, it should sit in this little curve, and of course there needs to be a reflection that's the same size, and like it
right.
starts to just answer those questions for its own self.
Okay. It's funny because this logo kind of looks like it could also be like a generic nonprofit. It's like
Yes.
seeking hope. It's like anything with water and like a generic circle that could be a person,
Yes.
abstractly. It's like
Oh,
I'm gonna see that, but oh well.
I have done a nonprofit logo like this with the mountains with the sun over it for like 100%. Like the
That's
sun is like
hilarious.
kind of a person. This also reminded me of like the opening logo in a movie where like it's a production studio and it like rises and like the water comes in and then it's like presented by, and like
Yes,
that logo comes in.
totally. Okay, yeah. This is stressful. I'm like, Amy's already winning, but it's okay.
Oh yes, no,
We're just gonna keep going.
you have like literally almost 40 minutes, so you have a lot of time left.
That's true. Actually,
Um,
I don't like this with this. I'm gonna put this with this. Feels like it
ooh.
makes more sense.
Ooh, and somebody in chat asked, Andrew, what is that mug that you're holding? Well, y'all, we are representing today. This is the Hoodzpah original. I'm gonna do the beauty influencer thing.
Yes.
Right here, Helvetic in the streets, Cooper Black in the sheets. It is, I believe these are gone for now, right?
They're on back order. Yeah.
They're on
We
back
sold
order.
out in one day of like
My
150 mugs.
goodness.
It was crazy. And now there's 150 on back order, but they're almost here, and we have all the packaging ready to just send them out. So just
Yes.
put your order in. We will make sure it happens.
Yep, and sign up for that email blast because that always is full of good goodies. And I'm sure that when they get back, it will end up in your inbox somewhere. Nice chat is saying it looks like the stripes on kind of beach shorts. That's true. It does have like a beachy vibe. Whenever I see those stripes, I think back to like the changing tents that they used to have on the beaches. You know what I mean? It was
Oh
like
yeah,
yeah.
totally.
So at what point, and I think that there's maybe an answer to this, maybe not. At what point do you think that you have like stopped playing with this and then gone into like trying to create this, if that makes any sense?
Right. I think I'm starting to be there. Like I see that it's taking shape enough to where I'm like, well, before I perfect this icon, because I could spend a lot of time making this look a lot better. It's like I kind of want to see, does it work? Does the weight feel evenly distributed? I feel like it does. This heavier tubular dunes like kind of mirrors this, thick, hill right here.
Yeah.
And and it definitely feels more in line with this than it did with this one. This kind of like, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. The 90s are a tough period to really like zero in on as far as like vibe.
Yes, this does feels like a company that I would see like in a mall. Like this would be next to like a Zoomies.
Yes.
Like they would sell rainbows, like the like fancy sandals or whatever. Like it just feels like
Fancy
it's in that zone. Fancy sandals. Which, chat, I'm going to fill in a little bit more of our brief. We said that they were established in 1999. And let's go ahead and look at the adjectives that may describe this. That may help us as we continue to build out. I just need 2 adjectives, and that will say established in 1999. This adjective and adjective apparel brand is known for their sleek style of flippers. So we need 2 adjectives that kind of talk about maybe the vibe of the brand, and then we can plug that in as we move into incorporating colors, doing extra marks, any kind of badges and stuff. Let me know 2 of those adjectives. And Doc Reed back in chat. Yes, next to the Sunglass Hut, 100%.
Yes. Okie dokie.
Oh, so now we're moving into color.
I mean, might as well, right?
That's true. do you find yourself getting stuck in your process, or do you try to just jump and jump and jump? Because it could have been something that like we got stuck on trying to match the type with the weights, but then we just jump into color and now we're going back to the shapes.
I know. I'm just kind of like whatever is hitting me, I guess, you know? So, I mean, it's probably not the best way to work, to be honest, and really we usually work in black and white first. I should probably find the center of this and make this hill line up with this center if I can.
All right, we got one of our adjectives, which I think fits already with what we're doing, is serene.
Yeah. Oh,
serene
that's good.
Is great. And then what is the second adjective, chat? Give me one more. Colby says fat with a PH. That is
that was a big
brand,
word
yes.
in the 90s. Yes.
Okay, cool. So Amy, this is going to be the one that you get. You are getting retro. So it is a serene and retro apparel brand. Love that.
Okay.
I think that will be fun incorporating once we get into kind of doing a badge or something. And then chat, I need an age demographic from you. Give me an age demographic that we are catering toward, or we at least marketing to. And that will help us with some of the supplementary materials as well. Got to get that age demo. When you're looking at this, are you putting it somewhere like in your brain? Are you looking at it through a certain lens as you build it to kind of check it by things? Or is it kind of like, all right, we're just getting the vibe right?
Well, right now I'm just trying to get all the pieces here. But yeah, the lens, which is kind of tough, is that I'm mostly filtering it through, but at first was 90s. Now I'm filtering it through, what was it? Retro and relaxing?
Serene.
So it's like, I guess I could kind of imagine it as like, almost like North Face, where it's like it is your leisure time, but it's also, you're kind of adventuring, because it's like, they are fins. So you're going to be active while you're wearing them. So,
that's interesting that it's like the West version of North Face. It's like a West Face, like.
Right. It's
all right,
something like that.
We are catering to the 30s demographic. Okay. Great suggestion there from a couple people in chat. So thanks so much for those suggestions. And while we continue to work on that, chat, I'm going to read you the entire brief that we have so far. We've got pretty much all the details locked down here. So we'll recap and then go back into process watching as Jen works. So here we go. The Tubular Dune is an up-and-coming California lifestyle brand. Their signature color, tan, is easy to spot on all their pieces. Established in 1999, this serene and retro apparel brand is known for their sleek style of flippers. They cater to a 30s demographic, and we'll fill in the rest of that at the end. So that's where we are. Thanks so much, chat, for doing that. We are going to do more at the end, but it looks like this is like, it sounds like a nature documentary as I do this transition. We'll get more to that at the end, but it looks like back on the farm, Jen is making some progress. Let's check
right.
in. So we've moved to another mark. What's happening here?
Ooh, okay. So then I was like, okay, let me try, this could be interesting. Like the sun is rising over the fin.
Which also kind of creates a dune.
Yeah, and what I'm thinking is that the dune could rise kind of like perfectly on the, and I don't know what color, I guess this would be the sand.
Yeah, I almost wonder, and this is my unsolicited art direction, I almost wonder if you can make that flipper bigger and then make part of like a logo system or whatever that it is just 2 color and can tessellate. So that like the positive space makes that flipper, but then when it flips, then it looks like the negative space is like those two dunes. Does that make
Wait, I
any sense? So when it's
don't
upside
know if
down,
I'm
I,
wait.
um,
Wait, say it again.
okay,
I believe
yes.
I can do it.
So basically, the shape that you have in the background,
Yeah.
I mean, make a copy of this first so that we don't like completely screw it up.
Yeah.
But basically, the dune that you have in the background, just kill that,
Okay.
and then make that the negative space, and then have the sun up above,
Okay.
and basically, so right now it's a fin, but then if it flips upside down, that black would be like the dunes coming over,
Yeah.
right? If that makes sense, and it could like flip either way to be a flipper or a fin.
Oh gosh, you guys. Is anyone seeing the butt?
Oh yeah, yeah, that's true. We made a butt.
We did make a butt.
We tried though. That's what counts. This is what happens in design sometimes. Is you think that you're heading a direction.
You do your darndest, but you still make a butt.
You still make a butt.
Sometimes. Oh no.
Oh, we tried.
We did try.
Yes, Osiris, some Roxy, good brands in there. And yeah, where are the 90s babies at? Someone asked in chat. Go ahead and put that in chat. If you're a 90s baby, I was like just on the verge. I'm an 89 baby, so I kind of count.
Oh yeah, you're young.
I am but a child.
But a mere child.
A wee little lad.
But you're right. I like the idea of something that could keep going. Keeping used in different ways. Not sure what that is or if we'll find it, but it is interesting.
We have about 20 minutes left, just as a time check, because I always forget.
How does it go so fast?
Right? It's crazy.
Oh, okay. Wait a second.
I love watching these moments, and that's the magic of this show, is the kind of like, oh, what if we try that? Oh, what if we do? Oh, what if we do? And then it eventually turns into something totally amazing.
Right. Might not work, but let's see.
Are we going sun vibes here? What's the zone?
I know it's like the most like basic bitch thing you can do, but oh, sorry.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. But at the same time, if people love suns, you know what I mean? So I'm not too mad about it.
That's the thing. If it's not broke, don't fix it. I mean,
yeah.
Sometimes
Why do these not look centered? It's so weird.
Is it
centering? Oh, it's centering on, let's see, aligned to whatever. I'm not gonna stress about it too much for now.
Close enough. Here's a question from Ricky. Do you look at inspiration when you're doing illustrations or marks, or do you just start off jumping in with your brain?
Usually I would start out with aligning on goals with the client and, figuring out like what the vibe is, what the brand traits are, and then do sketching and a mood board and then do the logo.
Yes.
But because there's so little time, I just kind of jumped in,
Yep, it's 100% kind of compressing what your process is, because all of us have steps in our process, and I love this kind of practice of 40 minutes to just knock it out. Is all of those details that you have in your process have to go completely condensed into what is the core of how I design, and how can I do that super fast?
We're getting, okay, let's see.
Oh.
Perhaps. I don't know, it might not, but it might.
I feel like design is a big question mark. Like every sentence, it should end with a question mark.
It's like a maybe.
Okay.
Thing is that, how like there's lines in it in the fins, right?
Yeah. I don't know much about fins because my feet are too big for most fins, and whenever I go anywhere that's fins, I just sit on the beach and say, "Have fun, everyone."
Oh, that's awful.
I know. The same when we go like roller skating or bowling. A lot of times, I wear size 15s, and so I have to like call ahead if people are like, "Let's go roller skating," and I'm like, "Hey guys, I can't go because they don't have skates for me."
They don't have skates.
Start.
Okay, let's work with this one now.
That type's funky.
Yeah, I love this one. It's called, what's it called? Roba. And it is very fun. Let's see, we could just put it kind of in the middle. I do like logos where they put the icon somewhere besides just the beginning.
Yep.
It's not always as easy as that, but sometimes it's nice.
Especially for going for that serene, like it's almost a little what's the brand? Like Banana Republic was, but like not now. Like now it's like luxury brand, but I feel like it used to be this kind of like wanted to be Izod thing, and it feels like it's
Oh,
in that zone.
interesting. Yeah. Okay. I'm so sorry. I'm getting like very,
Oh,
very.
I just got the crap scared out of me. The sun is like shining through my window on a tree, and I thought that there was someone like on my roof, and it was just a shadow. So just know that's the mental space I'm in.
Is that things are creeping me out.
Yes. All right. So I
I
love
mean,
that
obviously.
we. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, it's like you can always do a monogram. I don't right now it's kind of not looking 90s at all, so I do apologize for that. I'm like just kind of rapid firing, but it's not really
No
looking
rules.
quite right.
So we've gone to a completely new concept. What was your like brain in we had that one concept? Was it just like, yeah, this is a vibe, we got it, let's try something else?
Yeah, and this one isn't really working out like I thought it would, to be honest. So
Yes.
I kind of ditched it, but I mean, we could try it later. I'm not really. I know. I'm not sure on that one. I'm thinking something like this is working well.
Yeah,
Maybe, but I mean, it's not quite right, but it's something. But
and
yeah.
an interesting thing from chat that maybe we can try is if they sell flippers, could you incorporate some kind of animal flipper and use that shape? So maybe like a
Ah,
tail of
almost more like
like a
a
whale
fin.
tail, yeah, like a fin kind of
Yeah, yeah.
thing. That could be interesting to explore. We've got about 25-ish minutes. So if we want to do badges, if we want to explore another mark, it is up to you. It is choose your own adventure.
That's a good idea. Let me see if I can squeeze it into just a letter form somewhere.
Yes, I love when chat starts to suggest things in the show because it just makes something that we've all made together at the end.
Yeah, totally.
Oh, our friend Neri is here. Neri? Neri?
Neri,
Yes, Neri. Okay, got it.
what's up?
What's up? Is saying, do Amy and Jen use the same computer to design? I think the answer is no to that, right?
Not usually, although I'm using Amy's right now. But yeah,
Yes.
not usually.
Slight disadvantage. It's a new territory. Oh, turtles have flippers. Oh yeah, like let us know what things have flippers or webbed feet or uh uh what is the other thing? Fins.
Although if you put a fin like right here, doesn't it kind of give you the vibe of like danger?
Maybe. It kind of is a cool vibe, especially with the angularness of this type, with like the N's and the A's.
Yeah. It's like, let's see, how would you, yeah, there we go. Now we're getting it. Something like that, but not quite that.
A dolphin tail as the dune with the sun setting, Doc Reed says. The ultimate collaboration. It really is. That's how this works. Okay, this is feeling luxe. I feel serene.
Is it? I don't know. I'm like, but maybe. I mean, you know, it's like maybe. This is the hard part about. See, I told Amy, Amy's so good at designing on the fly. I need to like marinate and steep in it so much longer.
It is so stressful. What chat, let's do this. Chat, which vibe is vibing the most with you of the I think we've done 3-ish concepts? Which vibe is vibing, and do you have any other suggestions of where we could take things? What is the name of that font? One more time, someone asked.
Oh, the left side one is Nichrome, and then the top, the bottom right is Roba.
Roba, that's what it was. That is a gorgeous. I love stuff like that has character, that just has such a distinct voice.
I don't know why it's not doing that to my. Well, I was going to. You could do the sun more like on here.
I do appreciate about your work, and we were looking at this on the website, is there are times that it gets so simple but communicates so strongly. And flipping over to my screen for just a second, chat, on their website, on Hoodzpah Design, if you sort their work by type, there's different like super simple iconography happening between each project. And I think that that is just the most gorgeous, beautiful thing, especially when you start to see it like on the broad pages of case studies. I love that detail so much. And then there are a lot of your marks that I've seen that do go into that, like very simple, refined, which are sometimes like the hardest things to do.
Oh my gosh, it can be for sure. And I appreciate you saying that. That means a lot.
Oh, like 100%. That's something that you're like, oh, that probably took 5 minutes. Is like, how about 3 months? Like
Yeah.
it's,
Right.
there are 100 that are very much more complex than this, but somehow the one that lasted is this one that was very refined. Oh yes, this is going somewhere.
Yeah, this is definitely looking better. Fins and fun. It's like funny. You could
I love
something
fins
that
and fun.
cheesy you could totally imagine is like the tagline on like wherever you go for your cabin in the summers, and they have the little like local shop, something dumb like that. But
Yes.
does anybody have any better tagline ideas for me? Because I can totally change this.
Oh yeah, chat, drop in some taglines, and then also we have two more things to fill in on our brief, and that is a water sport and a beach sport. So let me know one of those two, and give us a tagline as well. We can incorporate that here. So we've done the black and white, and now it looks like you're moving into playing with some color. You're just going to kind of see what
Yeah,
emotions you can pull from there.
totally. I'm gonna start working on some color.
And this one is good, and she likes it, says Amy, but maybe with 3 hills.
3 hills.
Oh, the poltergeist is back.
The ghost is back.
Here's the thing, that exact same thing happened yesterday if you guys weren't watching, and I think that it's just full-on haunted at this point. Am I going to catch the curse? Does Design in the Dark like get the curse of the head's like office?
Oh my gosh. What was the movie where it's like if you answered the call, the phone call, it like passes to you,
Oh, yes, yes. So it looks like, oh, nice. Kara, I'm imagining this on a long sleeve tee with some stuff on the sleeves. Oh, 100%.
Yes.
Yes, and even like thinking through some details of like those stripes could be an element, like Vans has the checkerboards. Like
yes.
You could repeat those.
Although I'm verging on danger territory with using 3 stripes. I mean, that's an easy way to get sued by Adidas. So I think I should change these to be wavy.
Oh yeah. Do you use, what do you do to wave? Yep.
You know,
so
usually I do, let's see, distort, what do I do?
Zigzag.
You can do zigzag, let's see, and then we'll just round it, smooth it.
Yeah, so if you guys ever are struggling to like use the pen tool to make waves, Zigzag is your best friend. It is so easy to make awesome, perfect waves. There are some all caps yeses in chat, so I think that we are vibing with where we're going.
Okay, this is what we're going to do now too, is we're going to object, path, let's see, path, outline, stroke.
Expand appearance, object expand. Oh, you know, you got it.
Yeah, yeah. And then what I want to do is pretty much, I guess I could have done this with another way, but.
Oh, I think I see.
I'm going to make the dunes out of this same shape.
That's smart.
If that makes sense.
Yep. And it's interesting that sometimes when you start to get the shapes that you know you want to incorporate, right? That like, we know we want kind of this like sunsetty water and some dunes, is start connecting those things. They're like, oh, those both have oval shapes, or they both have a curve that I could use that represent each other, and then start to just piece those puzzle pieces together.
Right.
Okay, oh, Josh Arisa's in chat. What's up, Josh?
Arisa, what's up?
Rub and Chomp. We love Josh. We love Chomp here in this household. This household is a Chomp household.
Yeah, dude. I don't think I've ever seen you, Andrew. Oh wait, today are you wearing one today? Yeah, you're always wearing one.
I have so much Chomp, and I have hounded Josh for years and years about getting one of the teeth tees that's glow in the dark. And I literally bought glow in the dark puffy paint yesterday on Amazon so that I can just make my own, because I think that it's time. So I'm going to get arts and craftsy and get some little glow in the dark vibes happening. Nice. We are on our way to something very interesting. And I love, again, it's always fun to chat. Once this is done, go back and scrub through this show and start like 10 minutes in and look where we were, and then jump to the end. and you'll be like, what the heck? How did we get from this to that? And it's so magic to watch this all come together because we're
It is
totally hitting a
crazy.
vibe now.
I was definitely panicked that I would have done nothing but pretty much typed out something and picked a font. But here we are, we've done it.
And we're playing with a little bit of what we talked yesterday of maybe like
I like
scalable
that.
versions. Oh,
That is a nice mint. So, and pretty much I'm gonna replace this one because it's, well, it looks good on that full one. It'd be, you know.
yes, the vibe is right. The vibe is correct.
There we go.
And chat, I still need a beach sport from you. Sorry, I forgot. We're going with swimming for the water sport, but I need a beach sport from you. So drop that beach sport in there. We've got about 10 minutes left. And so we need one more suggestion, and then we will continue on and just vibe it out together.
I don't know if that's the right decision, but I'm going to leave it there for now.
And I love that we talked about this yesterday of the idea of like pixels being free is like,
Yeah.
I don't know, like try it. Like, like it's fine for if it ends in a question mark. There's no rules against
You're
that.
like, maybe?
Yeah.
I was going to try and do a reverse one, but I don't have time. So I'm just going to lock this layer and keep going on the tan.
Tan.
I really like that icon though. It's fun.
It is. It's really fun. And it like tells a story. It has motion. It has all those things that make it more than just a logo.
And it definitely feels serene, which is good. I'm going to move it back down here.
All right, chat. I don't know what I would put for volleyball as an action, so I'm putting volleyballing, and we are all going to deal with it. We are actively doing the sport of volleyball. Can you imagine
how dangerous it would be to volleyball with fins on? Probably the funniest thing in the world is seeing men running into the ocean with fins on.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
All right, chat, you said it, so it's happening. Our friends are going to be playing volleyball in their mid-30s in their tubular dune flippers.
Of course they are, yeah.
Just know this was your decision.
Okay, and someone said imagining a stripe down a shirt. Like, it'd be cool to make like a repeating pattern that could be like printed as like a ribbon that could go down like, you know, windbreakers and...
Even if maybe that like bottom part of the dune and the wiggle is like almost an in-between on like scaled up. That's really cool. Oh, like, this totally feels like maybe something that it would be like the back strap on the fins, right? That like goes around.
Oh, totally.
Or like the sunglasses holder things that you put up there. Did Tom Cruise pick this narrative? Yes. The Top Gun scene, everyone is glistening in the sun in their gorgeous tubular dunes flippers.
Val Kilmer.
Yes.
Love him. I'm matching the tees. I don't know if that's the right decision. Do you guys like the chunkier tee on the vertical, the top crossbar, or the skinnier one that matches more of these line weights?
Oh yeah, let us know, chat, about some of the varying line weights. I personally like the super wonky weird type, and so I love that it's just like a little bit off, because there are only a couple places that it does that, but it makes sense, it feels like, for the T to do that.
To be skinnier, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I'm taking your advice.
And I think that it starts it out with character. Like, I love putting a lot of character in if it's going to be wonky type, like that first letter, giving it just an extra little something.
And just PS everyone, if it's stressing you out that I'm eyeballing this, like if this were the real world, I would definitely make sure that those two are exactly the same, but there's just no time.
We're going for good enough. I talk to students a lot and talk about this concept that you should be able to do anything in an hour, anything well in a week, and then anything great in a month. That like you should be able to scale your process. And like if you want something in an hour, it's gonna suck, but you can get it done.
Right.
Is just figure out, sure, we can kick something out. You're gonna hate it, but we can do it, and then scale up from there as you have more time.
Totally.
What song is playing in the background, Zed? It is an Adobe Live playlist that I don't know. It is a playlist that is for Adobe Live, and we vibe. Which, Jen, I'm sorry, you can't hear it. Sorry, keep going. Go ahead.
Oh, no, you're good. Actually, I think this icon gets too small when it's in the middle, and it's just kind of too off center, unless we made the water line.
Oh,
but nah, then it gets too big.
yeah.
But
I,
anyways, we tried.
that's the greatest part about design is when you have the huh?
It's
Oh,
like,
no. Like, yeah.
it's like in theory it would have been good, but
Yes, like a visual kombucha girl.
yes, like all right, I'm just replacing the skinnier T's down here.
Oh, a good question from chat. Will we close out this session with Jen playing the piano behind her?
Oh my gosh.
I think
I
the
can,
answer
but
is
I don't know any songs that aren't licensed, and would that get us in trouble?
we get like a copyright strike on Adobe's channel. That is just the track record that we want to leave for this show.
Oh my gosh.
Gosh.
That's just what we need.
Yes. Bye, Josh. Thanks for joining us so much.
Bye, Josh.
Hopefully we can get you on the show eventually, Josh. That'd be super fun.
Oh my gosh, that would be the best.
And we have about, I don't know, like let's say 6-7 minutes left. I kind of make up the times. We have to finish at 3:25 is when we get cut off. So we'll just vibe until close to then.
Okay. That works for me. And it's interesting. It's like, is it okay that we use this without the sun? And I kind of think no. I think whenever possible, you have to use it all together. Because I was going to try and use it without the sun. But it seems wrong to break up an icon. If you really want it to be iconic, you kind of have to use it the same over and over and over again.
Yeah, and it almost feels like...
We could turn it on its side, though.
Yeah, that could
be interesting. Because it is more vertical than...
I tend to get in that trap as well. Yeah, no, totally. Like I think it's funny when you start to experiment and build out like system stuff is you start changing things and then you realize like, oh, this is the thing that's on that page in the brand standard that tells you not to do this. Like I've already done that and I haven't even built the brand standards yet. It's like, don't do this to the logo, and we've already done it. What's up? Eric Sin joining us. Thanks so much for hanging out, dude. What's up?
Uh-oh. For some reason, Andrew, I can't hear you anymore, but let's see. Yes, I can hear you again. Okay, cool. I don't know what that was. It was so strange. For the slightest second, I couldn't hear.
I'm alive. I may have had my mic muted. I was coughing violently to myself over on the side, and I think I forgot to turn it back on. So.
I was like quietly like trying to like figure out what I had done wrong.
That's when you like start like you pull out like the straw hat and start doing like the Ashley Simpson like hoedown dance.
Oh my gosh. By the way, the only thing that I had all the pieces for to be for Halloween that I already had existing assets for that I didn't even know that I had was Britney Spears from Hit Me Baby One More Time. It's like I had all the wardrobe without even knowing it.
That's incredible. That it's just there. You're like, what can I piece together? Ah, yes, the music video from the 90s of Britney Spears.
Oh my gosh. So that doesn't look good. But I think we can use, like you were saying, the repeating of these two lines. It could kind of be like our Adidas stripes, but we won't do three. We'll only do two. Object, path, outline, stroke.
And I love that this is kind of it. Would you present to your clients once you're, I mean, if this was a full client, would you present something like this that has a bunch of stuff on one page? Do you usually break it up when you're presenting? How do you kind of show the concepts?
So I would only show them the main logo first, and then I would show them how it can break down in a variable way. Like, you know, like this is what it looks like, you know, more horizontal, more, you know, stacked. This is the icon. And then I would show it to them reversed and at 50% so that they can see that it scales and then it works in reverse. Stuff like that.
Yeah. And I think we get this question a lot. What do you think about when you're putting pitch decks together, of it being too long, of it feeling too cramped? Where do you kind of, what would your advice if someone's going to pitch to a client to kind of make it longer, make it shorter? What's the vibe?
Actually, like, kind of like you were saying, pixels are free. Like, I think when it comes to presenting things, especially because we're all presenting virtually online now, using more pages rather than less to like really space out the content, to say one simple statement per page, one simple image per page, rather than having like, you know, 6 different things going on, like as far as like communicating a lot of ideas, you know. Like I think keep it simple per page. That way people aren't like trying to absorb all the content and aren't listening to what you're saying, you know, when you're presenting it. It really, the deck is just your cheat sheet notes, you know, for your presentation. It's like, yes, it has the imagery, but it has a little bit of like notes on the side so that when they go away, they can, you know, read about it afterwards too. But Yeah,
Yeah.
I think like simple statements per page. Don't try and explain everything. You'll do that on the phone or the video call, but just give like the high level, you know?
Yeah, it's almost like the prologue to like a movie when they have
Yeah.
those slides going up, right? They're not giving you like, here's the entire story. It's like, here's one slide. And then in 1965, the body was found. And like each piece is like kind of walking you through as if it was a little journey.
Yeah, totally.
And we got about, I don't know, 3-4 minutes left. And what are you doing now?
I'm just gonna try and make some quick reverse options so we could see.
That like the reverse next to each other looks so cool as like a pattern of like, especially because it connects. Like that's so cool that in theory the logo could be right, like ever continuing.
Yes, that is true. I love that. In fact, I mean, it's kind of nice. You could almost use the reverse one so that the sun does become, you know, a sun. Like it's bright rather than dark. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And maybe, I mean, at that point, if you didn't fill it in, like it could also go with that like kind of warpy bottom. But I don't really like that. I don't know. You could do it that way, or you could do an outline on the outside box here, you know, so that it did always remain kind of contained.
And we talked about this a little bit yesterday. What's your take on like logo systems where it's like different for different sizes? Is that something you try to incorporate into your brands?
Sometimes, yeah, unless the icon is such that like it really could be the same everywhere. And that's always what I would, to be honest, prefer. And if anything, I'll build them like secondary marks where it's like, hey, here's a badge or a seal with like your tagline locked up and stuff, but it's not your logo. Like your logo, you know, if at all possible, I would love for it to be the same everywhere. Unless, you know, it's so iconic that they can strip it down and make it simpler and people would still know. But it's like, you kind of have to have a client that's, you know, has the marketing budget to make sure that they would be able to, I don't know, just spend enough money to where people would know that like something that was shortened would be them. Yep. Do you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, absolutely. That it's, I mean, it's a move to have something that is so simple that it's like, you just have to throw money at that and educate everybody that that's your thing.
Totally. But yeah, there is something to be said though for like, you know, the logo changing as it gets smaller. Like Nathan Yoder just worked with I forget what the agency's name was, but they worked on redoing Bricks. It wasn't Brixton. It was Stetson's logo.
Stetson, yep.
And like the biggest version is a very intricate seal. And then the second, you know, the smaller like digital web application version is just like, you know, it looks generally the same, but it's just like a lot of the details been stripped out. So it's interesting, you know?
And I love what happened, and somebody noted this in chat as well. Somehow the lines have started to vibe with the type so well. And I think those little like the small lines in the N and the A and then what we did on the T is like vibing now with that outline, with the waves, like everything's starting to come together as far as weight goes.
Totally. And I should try to match these to the weights of the line as well. Something like that. You know,
we did a vibe, y'all. We made a thing.
We did it. It's a miracle. It came together.
And I love again that sometimes this is the process, is that you slam your head against the screen until something pops, and there we are. I think we went through 3 different concepts. We made a butt. We made a butt. And we've landed somewhere that I think is super vibey.
Yeah, I love it. I'm really shocked that this happened. I'm not gonna lie, I did not think this was gonna happen.
Yes, and that's like a great thing to hear, because I know in chat on a lot of these shows people are talking about like, how do I get over imposter syndrome and like how do I like make it or whatever. Is I love this show showing people that like even someone that's like, oh, it's like Jen and Amy Hood, that it's like cool, like we have no idea and like there's no way we're gonna do this. It's gonna be crap. It's gonna suck. Like we
and you
all
know what's
have
so
that
funny
in our
is
brain.
that I thought this was good earlier. It's just like that's how design works. You're like, this is a solid idea, and then you get up here and you're like, wow, what I made before was absolute. I mean, you know, that looks like some, like I don't know, like freshman year of you know, college.
Yeah, and it's so interesting that first shot, I was there too, that I was like, oh, this is a cool mark, we're going somewhere. And then looking back at it, it is very much like, oh, this is a student project and this is something you can sell. Like,
yeah, totally.
That's so crazy. Funny. And yes, it came out so clean. So from here you would break it out, you would start pairing the colors and all that stuff. and then present to the client. When you're presenting, do you always present like in person? Do you ever send just a deck, or are you always like, we have to talk through it?
No, I always present it either audibly and I'm walking, and usually I don't send them the deck ahead of time. I make them walk through, I screen share like I am right now so that they can't jump ahead. And I tell them, hey, I'm going to tell you the story and I'm going to walk you through it first. Like if you want, you can chime in, but you know, really probably what's best is for me to just walk you through it. And then you can ask me all your questions at the end. That way I can tell the perfect narrative and really like, you know, sell it the way it should be, rather than getting bogged down on like little like sundry things, and they don't have time to like get their heads together and be like, do we even like blue? Because it doesn't matter.
Yep, exactly. Like by the time they
I
question
do really
blue,
like to set the scene and tell the story.
Yep, by the time they're questioning like, oh, do we like blue? You've already convinced them that they're like, blue's the greatest color ever.
Yes,
like,
totally.
That's right. It's in your brain now.
Yes. And that's the soft skills part of it.
Yeah. So this is where we made it. This is incredible. This is super fun. And of course, to close out the show, I'm going to read the brief one more time for all of you, to make sure that we have hit all of the things, which I think we have. The Tubular Dune is an up-and-coming California lifestyle brand. Their signature color, tan, is easy to spot on all their pieces. Established in 1999, this serene and retro apparel brand is known for their sleek style of flippers. To cater to the 30s demographic, and they are, whether they are swimming or volleyballing, they always look good in their Tubular Dunes. That's right, those volleyball flippers. All right, well, we made it, everyone, and I know we all want to try to declare a winner between the two, but I think the real winner is the friends that we made along the way. So thanks for tuning in, and we will see you next time. Next time in 2 weeks, we have our friend Simone Wilder is coming on, who I know, Jen, you know. She's done some work recently for SNL. I think she just did a live stream, like literally with Joe Biden. Like she was doing all kinds of crazy like lettering stuff. So we'll have her on. It's going to be an amazing time. Join us again in 2 weeks for that, and we will see you all a little bit later. And hey, thank you for being a friend.
Yes, thank you.